In this video, we will be going over a men's medium length haircut. This haircut will be done entirely with the scissors. So you'll start with a consultation. You always want to look your client in the eye and introduce yourself before walking them back to your chair. Examples of some opening questions include, how are you wanting your haircut today? Tell me about your hair lately. How are you feeling about it? What are your hair goals today? You can say, do you have some photos of haircuts that you like as references? Talk to me about what you do and do not like about your hair when you get a haircut. These are all great examples of questions that will lead you to what you should and should not do through the duration of the service. So some key concepts about haircuts. And note that a client's language may not always match your professional barber language. Pictures make sure to help that you are on the same page about what these words mean. Talk about the flow of the haircut. Are they combing it back with their fingers? Are they pushing it forward? Talk about the length on the sides. Where do they want to see the length hang on their ear? Are they clearing the ear completely? Do they want it to hang a little bit over the ear? Talk about the length on top, especially how they wear it. Does it need to be out of their eyes? Does it need to be able to comb back? Holding the hair straight up to show them is fine, but they may not understand how that length translates when it lays back down. Most haircut complaints come from a lack of communication in the consultation, not because of a lack of skill from the barber. Think about where their hair is now and where they want to go with the style. Is this a realistic goal? Touch the hair, move it around with your hands and comb, and discuss with them what you think their hair will respond like with their requested length. Show your clients with your fingers where their requested length will fall in the natural fall of the hair. Clients may not have a great idea of what an inch or two means. Sometimes it's just what they've known to say. So after your consultation, you'll start with the sides. Note that there are many methods to cut hair, and this is just one of them. Feel free to combine this with other methods and use whatever feels effective for you and your clients. Notice the diagram below. These head sheets are great for understanding what the hair looks like in its expanded shape. This gives you an idea of what the hair looks like if you hold it straight out from the head. These don't always make sense to everyone, but for some people they're very helpful. So our sectioning for this haircut is a horseshoe around the head. This horseshoe is just above the occipital at the round of the head and includes the cowlick in the back. Feel free to clip the top out of the way or spray it down and comb it out of the way. This method starts with cutting the sides. So as you begin to cut the sides, start on the right side of the head and take a vertical section above the ear. This first section will be right at the hairline. Hold this section between your fingers straight out at 90 degrees from the head and cut straight up and down to the discussed length. This will be your guide. Travel through to the back of the head, following this guide, taking vertical sections about a half an inch thick. Each new section should pick up a small piece of the previous section as a traveling guide to cut to. Continue this around the entire sides and back of the head. Many barbers and stylists prefer to cut one side, then the other side, and then connect in the center back. These pictures to the right show a great example of your holding position and elevation for this part of the head. Once the length is established around the sides and back, you should revisit the ear area, the front hairline, and the neckline. Detail these areas to be as neat or as messy as the client desires. Use the scissor over comb or clipper over comb technique to taper down the bottom area as the client desires. Using scissor over comb, you can point cut into the haircut where there is unwanted weight or bulk. This picture to the right is a great example of using scissor over comb to detail the neckline. Now that the sides are cut, we'll work on the top. The consultation should lead you to the length and shape that is appropriate for the top. A pompadour or a comb-over look will suggest leaving the bang area longer. A crop or a short bang will suggest a shorter fringe increasing in length towards the back. A traditional men's shape is a straight line from front to back, and the shape of the head means naturally that the bang area will be slightly longer. These head sheets to the bottom right give you a couple of ideas of some different shapes for the top. The bottom left photo is a traditional straight line increasing in length towards the front. The bottom right photo continues at 90-degree elevation with a uniform length around the top. The top photo here has a uniform length throughout the top with a slightly shorter bang. Think of what these lengths will look like when they fall down. So first we'll create a guideline. We'll create a mohawk section from front to back about 1 inch wide. Decide whether you'll increase or decrease in length from front to back. Remember that the top point of the head will create the shortest length when you hold the hair straight up because of head shape. Being mindful of cowlicks and head shape, cut the desired length into the mohawk section. This photo to the right gives a great example of holding position and elevation for this section. So next, we'll cut to our guideline. Take horizontal sections from side to side about 1 inch thick, which will end up including your guideline in the center. Cut each horizontal section holding the hair straight up to match the guideline in the middle. This photo to the right gives a great example of holding position and elevation for this section. You can cross-check your work by taking sections from front to back, side to side, as well as diagonally across the top of the head. Now we'll connect the top to the sides. Think of your sections of being like beach balls, with the top being the center. Take vertical beach ball sections straight out from the head, perpendicular to the floor. This is a very similar holding position as to when we cut the sides of the head, but now we're including the hair at the top. You'll see disconnection where the lengths from the top meet the lengths on the side. Connect your top to your sides by point cutting these lengths at the corners. This head sheet on the bottom right of the screen gives you a great example of how you can connect the top to the sides. There are variations of this, but a standard blending technique for men's hair cutting is straight up and down with a square shape. At the back of the head where the cowlick lives, feel free to use loose tension and leave more length at first to account for the growth pattern popping up. Now that our haircut is generally completed, take a step back, look at your haircut in the mirror, and adjust as needed. Revisit any section or areas of the head that aren't falling the way that you like. Comb the hair with your comb, your hands, and mess it around and see how it's laying. Ask the client how they are feeling about their haircut. You typically don't want to say, "Do you like it?" because it forces them to say yes or no. It is more appropriate to say, "How do you feel?" with an open-ended question. Always finish with a hot towel and neck shave. Style and blow dry as desired. Try not to let the client leave with wet hair. Make sure to use at least one product, even if it is just a leave-in conditioner or a tonic. You want the client to feel great, smell great, and have haircut day feeling special. So this is a general overview of a men's medium length haircut. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section. Thanks, guys.